Hi, everyone. Thank you, Felicity. That was so good. I'm a bit nervous now because I'm after you. But yes, thanks so much for having me here. And yeah, Felicity, you took a risk. How many hands up who loves taking risks? Oh, okay. I looked over here, I was like, oh, quite a lot. And then I looked over there and I was like, not that many. Okay, not that many. Well, hopefully in the next 10 minutes, when I ask you the same question, you guys are all going to have your hands up in the air. Because for me, taking risks really changed my whole life. And I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Sorry. Wait 1 second. Sorry, I was trying to go. Yes. Okay. So, taking risks completely changed my life because I played it safe, and now I am running my own business. I am running my own business with my best friend, and yes, we've nearly. Well, I said, Lou, we haven't actually raised over £1 million, but nearly £1 million. Yeah, you know. Oh, well, yeah. So I grew up in a Chinese immigrant family, and my grandparents took huge risk, but for some reason my parents never really wanted me and my brothers to take a risk. We were always told, keep your head down, do your homework, don't make a scene. And that is basically who I became. I was a really kind of shy, quiet little girl who played, all of the rules, who followed all of the rules. And sorry, completely forgot. And so, yeah, looking back now, I realized that actually there was a rebel inside me. And I am actually a maverick at heart. And there was a tiny risk taker in me. And little did I know that actually that tiny risk taker was going to grow into a bigger risk taker and ultimately create the life that I am living today. So I remember my earliest memory of taking a risk, and I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. And my best friend, Jessie Anand, she always brought a packed lunch into school because of her allergies. And I was really jealous because I hated the school lunches, and me and all the other kids had to have school lunches. So one week when my mum was away on holiday, my dad had to, my poor unsuspecting dad had to look after me. And on kind of day 3, I think I was like, okay, I'm going to have the courage to lie to my dad and tell him that we were all going on a school trip and that my parents needed to make everyone a packed lunch. So my dad, I was actually really in shock. He didn't ask any questions. He just made me the packed lunch. So I strolled into school, sat next to Jessie, got my packed lunch out, and I was so happy. I was like on top of the world. And I think that, to me, was my first ever risk, and it paid off. And that gave me the confidence to take even more risks. So fast forward a couple of years, I'm now 10 years old, and it was show and tell. And that's when you bring in an item and you talk about it to the class. And I hadn't prepared, basically, I'd forgotten. So I remember I came into school and I picked the first book I could see off the shelf, and it was all to do with butterflies. And it was my go. I got up and I basically winged it, and I opened the book and I pretty much just read from the book. And my teacher was so impressed. She was like, oh my gosh, Mae, you are top of the class. She said I was top of the class, and she sent me to the headmistress's office to go get a special certificate. So you guys are probably thinking, Mae, your childhood experiences have turned you into a cheat and a liar. But actually, I think, luckily, that didn't happen. And so what I think I learned from that is actually something more valuable, is that taking risks really lead to unexpected rewards, and rewards that I think you just can't even imagine unless you take the leap. So as I grew older, I realized that actually the pressure to de-risk my life got a lot stronger. I had to, play it a bit more safe. So when I was thinking about my career, Asian parents, I don't know if you guys have Asian parents, they are 3 career choices: accountant, lawyer, doctor. So I was good at maths, so I basically had to go down the accountancy route. But I knew deep down that it wasn't for me. And so anyway, I kind of just followed my parents. They obviously wanted me to have a stable career, stable income. And anyway, so I studied accountancy at uni, and then I went and I got a job at PwC, which is one of the top accountancy firms. And I ended up working there. So, life on paper looked really good. My parents were really proud and everything. But then in the first year, when I was only 21, my mum was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And she did, unfortunately, pass away that year. And so that, shifts everything. Like, that changes everything. And I think I realized that life was too short to not take any risks. So I realized at that point I was going to take the biggest risk of my life, and that was to quit. So I quit my job. And luckily, I didn't quit by myself. I quit with my best friend, Sam. She was also really unhappy in her career. And we decided to start a business, and fast forward 10 years, we're now still business partners, which is amazing. And we started a company called Eric. And basically, Eric is a careers discovery platform supporting young people into the creative industries. But it was really based on our own, experience of getting terrible career advice. So yeah, we started off with career events, and we wanted to turn boring career fairs into festivals. And then the pandemic hit, so then we had to pivot, and we launched a digital platform, which is now the Eric app. And now we have over 150,000 young people using our app. Oh. And I think we also saw huge commercial opportunity as well. So we, realized that actually this wasn't a charity, but it was actually could be a commercial thing, because loads of brands are struggling to connect with young people. So now we have, some of the top brands like Penguin, Warner Music, Financial Times coming to promote and work with us, and we help them, connect with young people in a more interesting way. And I think for Sam and I, the mantra that we use or have always had is really is to fail fast. Because actually failing fast means taking risks all the time. And yeah, taking risks for us is really how we got to where we are today. And one of the biggest things that taking risks for us is when it came to investment. Because when it came to raising investment, that was honestly one of the hardest things we've ever done. We are not, we don't have MBAs. We don't have any experience. We started, the business quite young. And less than 1% of funding goes to female-founded companies, which is insane. So we decided, the rebel in us was shaking, and we were like, you know what, we've got to do it, because honestly, we were going to shut the business down. So the rebel came out, and we decided to try everything we could. We thought outside the box, and then we basically mass cold emailed everyone we could. We found tools. We paid a guy off Fiverr.com to like find us all these emails, and we honestly emailed thousands of people, and we did it. We raised nearly £1 million, and last year we found one investor from LinkedIn. I cold DM'd her, and she invested £250,000. So yeah, I think that just proves that, it's not experience and it's not luck, I don't think. I genuinely think it is taking a risk. So I want all of you guys, hopefully, to just take more risks in your life. And yeah, be bold. Be bold, take more risks, and honestly, it will work. And if it hits, it will pay off and everything will change. So yeah. I really hope you guys will take more risks.